The thing about being labeled as smart means that so many people might have these high expectations of you and you may not even know what you want for yourself. If this sounds familiar to you, don't worry, I was there a couple years ago. Before I begin, let me just say that I think having an education is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Even if you want to go into social media, or even if you want to run your own company one day, having an education is something that no one can take away from you. So I went to high school, and then after high school, I went to university. I have my bachelor's in science, I have my major in biochemistry, and my minor in biotechnology. I was labeled as smart. So technically, I'm supposed to be doing my MPhil or my PhD and having doctor attached to my name. I got 2 scholarships after high school to go to university, so I did accept 1 scholarship, and that is what helped in my university life. And I got like money, I got so many things, everything was good, life was good, and I finished my degree. And then what then? So if you didn't watch my other video on quitting my jobs to start my own company and become the CEO of my own company, I will have that linked in so you can go ahead and check it out and see a little bit of what happened to me after my degree. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but at that time my channel was growing exponentially. Like, I would go from 5,000 subscribers to literally 25,000 subscribers in a matter of days. It was so insane. So I had no idea what career I wanted to pursue or what I wanted to do after. So I decided, you know what, I love to travel. So I went to New York and Toronto for a few months, and I loved it so freaking much. And I was just so excited and happy because my channel was literally taking off, and I was just like unbelieved, because like that is not something I ever expected to happen. I was just like so freaking shook by it, but obviously happy at the same time. And it happened while I was traveling, and I was just like living my best life. So while I was in New York, that's when I got an email from one of my lecturers at university telling me about a scholarship opportunity and saying that I was a perfect fit. Obviously had like 2 minds about this because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but then again, I'm getting a full scholarship to do my MPhil. So like, what do I do? I remember telling everyone around me, and they were all so elated for me. They were telling me, you need to accept this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There are so many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and I feel like if this one was just being rated up so much because it was a full scholarship, like technically it's like any smart person's dream, right? But it wasn't mine. So many people said that I could have been a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, but I never liked any of those things, so I never pursued it. And now a full scholarship for my MPhil was literally being handed to me, and I was like not sure about it. But because everyone kept telling me that it was the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, that I can't miss this, it's such a great opportunity, I obviously felt so much pressure to accept it that I eventually just went ahead and signed up and applied and did everything I was supposed to do. So of course, while I was in New York, I literally was writing essays, filling out application forms and everything like that, so I can email it to my lecturer so he can get that scholarship like moving so fast. You could literally see from these emails how quick everything was moving and how fast-paced everything was moving, that I had to sign this up and submit that and do all of those things. And I literally was just running like a machine because everyone around me was like, oh my gosh, yes, you need to do this, you need to make this happen, this is good for you, the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, like one after the next. And I literally, like, you can see from the emails how fast everything was happening. It meant that after I went to New York and I came back from my traveling, it meant that I had to start school again in September, and I was not feeling like if this was meant for me at all. So I always say it, like, you always know what you want in life and what is meant for you. You need to like follow that, because this is how one decision changed my entire life forever. One of the reasons I also decided to go ahead with the scholarship was because I really had no idea what I wanted to do at the time, and this was probably just a good thing to do. That was my mentality going into this entire scholarship situation. If you look back at my channel, you will see the times I was in my apartment were the times that I was literally pumping out videos. So I had all the time in the world for some crazy reason to be pumping out videos. My channel is literally taking off, and I'm just like studying in a corner here and there. I was still doing well, but I knew with more and more on each passing day that this was not something that I wanted to do. I started to feel like really suffocated, really trapped. I started to feel really panic is the best way that I can explain it, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting so freaking real and so freaking serious. So I finished my first semester, I got all A's, I did really well, and that meant that now it was time for the research part of my MPhil. In science, you have a lot of research to do. That feeling of suffocation and panic was just like freaking overwhelming me. The time was was drawing closer and closer for me to start my research project. And like I knew without a doubt in my life that this was not for me. This path was not for me. It was not my destiny to be in a lab doing research for hours and hours repetitively every single day. That just was not me. It is not who I am. It was not what I was meant to do. All I could think about was that I had to say something now. I knew that I had to open my mouth and say something. It is way worse starting a research project, getting everyone invested in it, getting your professors invested in it, getting everybody on board, and then quitting midway in. The best thing to do and the more reasonable thing to do is to quit before you even start your research project so you don't waste too much people's time. You can see in these screenshots how upset like my professors were getting with me because I would literally be ghosting meetings. I wouldn't even show up because I knew in my soul that this is not what I wanted to do. I was so frustrated. I was so anxious and overwhelmed, and most of all, I was so unhappy with what I was going to do. I felt so sick. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. My thoughts were just like, oh my gosh, I need to say something. But I was so scared. Like, who would not be scared about messaging their professor, about doing their first semester, getting all A's, having everyone like so excited to have you on their team, so excited to do all of those things, and then right before everything is going to start, you're writing a quitting letter. I knew that I would have been way more scared and way more unhappy doing that research project than not doing that research project. Even though I had no idea what my career was going to be or what I was going to do in life, I knew that this was not for me. One day in December, I composed an email to my lecturer, and I have pieces of it here that I will put on screen now. I thanked him for the opportunity and everything like that, but I had to turn it down. I literally sent the email, hid my phone away, and then within like 2 minutes, my professor messaged me back and said that he understood, and if this is the path that I want to go along, then he supports that. He ended up being really nice about it, and now I'm thinking that even if he wasn't so nice about it, it doesn't matter, because at least I would have said what I had to say, and nobody could have like forced me into staying, or nobody could have forced me into like doing it. It was like ultimately my choice and my decision, and it was obviously one of the best decisions of my life, and it literally changed the entire course of my life so that I was able to go along to open my own company, have my own store, and be my own boss, which is just so much better than the fear and fright and anxiety and overwhelm that I would have had doing research every single day, being in a lab 24/7. It literally gives me nightmares to think that if I didn't send that letter, what would have become of me. Like, mind-blowing. So that is basically my little experience on quitting my scholarship, ghosting my professors, getting in trouble, and to eventually living my best life and doing what I truly love. So if you are in a similar situation, just remember that those people around you who are putting pressure on you, they're not responsible for living your life. Like, they are not going to wake up every single day and have to do something that they absolutely hate. It's literally you. You're going to be waking up every single day and hating what you do, and who wants that kind of life? Like, who literally wants that kind of life? So even though, yes, I was labeled as smart, could have had doctor in front of my name, could have done all of those things, would that have made me happy at the end of the day? Hell freaking no, it would not have made me happy. I would have been so miserable. I am so happy for the opportunity that I had. I'm so happy for all these scholarships that I got in my life, for my university experience, and for all of those things. But that chapter of my life is definitely more than closed right now. There is no way that I'm going back into any field of science like for the rest of my life, and that is okay, because I always believe that all of the things that you do in your life and every single decision you make leads up to this amazing moment, and then you finally realize that all of the puzzles click into place and it makes sense in the end. So if you have a really hard decision to make, I feel you with the overwhelm, I feel you with the anxiety, I feel you with all of those things, but just remember, it is your life. And if you firmly believe that you want to do something else, and if you firmly believe that it can work and it is your passion, then definitely just go with it. So many people didn't think that YouTube could amount to anything, or that I could do anything outside the field of school and science, and then here I am. Obviously I didn't make it yet, but I definitely will make it one day, because I believe in myself and I believe in my passion, and I really do genuinely love what I do. So I hope that this gave you a little bit of inspo to like take a step back, figure out what you want, and that you know is the best for you. So thumbs this video up if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more story time videos like these, don't forget to subscribe because it is free and I have so much amazing lifestyle content coming your way that I don't want you guys to miss out on. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Mwah.